Hey guys, Mr. Fix-It here. We're going to do a quick little change out. I'm going to show you guys how to change out a sight tube on your boiler. In this particular case, we came upon a problem here where water was spitting out and getting out everywhere and having an issue with this tube. And what I found out is this is actually loose in here. So all the steam was escaping out of here when we turned the boiler on. It was just blowing steam, blowing water out of here. So I got a feeling the seal's cracked here. So we're going to teach you how to drain down the boiler, quickly change out your sight glass, do it properly. We have, right now we're getting prepared with setting up the hose to drain. We opened up a clean out that's nice right by us. We're going to dump the hose in and we're going to start draining the boiler. The first thing to do is make sure your boiler is off. We switch that boiler off. If it makes you even feel better, go back to your panel, your electric panel, and shut it off from that point. These are all your controls, and we're going to go ahead and drain down the boiler and get the water out of that sight tube right now. And now you'll see it's all, what happens, it'll all just drain out. And you'll see the sight tube just drop as it drains. And once it's cleaned out, once we get it all out, we'll be able to access this thing and change it out with the new parts we have. The new parts cost $10, and it's a pretty good deal when you can do it yourself. Instead of calling a plumber, you're calling a plumber to do this type of a service call. You're going to be at about $1.30 to $1.50 to $1.60, anywhere in that area, depending on the mood of the plumber. We're going to drain this down and we'll get right back to you. Go. Okay, so we got the water drained down, and these two rods that we're pulling out, you can see they just pull right out, if you're wondering what the heck they do. Okay, and then what we do is we get to these packing nuts right here, or just nuts basically, with a couple washers that are in them. And we're going to unscrew this one, unscrew that one, and this sight tube will come right out. Now be careful, these can be hot, especially if you just ran the boiler. In this case, we've had it down for a little while. You don't want to over tighten these things either. You can crack the tube, so you just want to crank it up when you put the new tube on. I don't want to bore you to death with this, but he'll unscrew that one, and I'll come right back as soon as we can get the tube out. Okay, he's got both the nuts off, top and bottom. We're going to go ahead and remove the tube. And you know something else? We're going to reuse this tube. We don't need to put a new one. This tube is perfectly fine. Just a little, dirty. Now let's see what the problem was. Wow, those washers were bad. That's the bottom one, but this top one was the one that was leaking. This top one doesn't even have the washers. Okay, well, we're going to use the same sight tube, and we're just going to go ahead and replace these two. It should be okay just by doing that. You don't even have to buy the tube. All right, let's set this up. I'll be right back. We'll show you how this goes together. Go. Okay, so we have three pieces here. You got a friction washer. Looks like it's brass, but it's not. We have your rubber washer that goes over it. So he's going to put these pieces together. You put your friction washer in first. Then you place your rubber gasket seal, slide it over the top, and you're going to go back to back because one's going up, one's going down. So you slide one onto the top. And then do the same to the other side. It's a relatively quick repair, but like I said, you get a service call to do something like this. You also want to flush the system every now and then. I already flushed this one, that's why the water's pretty clean. Otherwise, I'd take you right through flushing the whole thing. Okay, he's just going to go ahead and manipulate this into play. He's going to push down from the bottom, let it slide down to the bottom. Lift that nut. He's making an adjustment so that that glass will slide right down into here. And then we're going to go up to the top, and then he's going to slide it up that way, and then make your connection. Slide it all the way up as far as you can, and then put your nut up. And you can see the glass is still down there. We'll be fine. Seal it right up. That nut will go back on. That nut will go back on. We'll be right back. Couple. Okay, we got them on. It's important to remember to keep the rubber seals tight to the glass, making a good seal. That rubber piece has to be on the glass. Let this tighten down and hold the rubber in place. It'll expand inside there or compress and create a good seal. And you don't have to over tighten these. You just want to crank them down so they're nice and tight. I mean, not tight, but taut, you know. Just you can hand tight it and then give it a couple cranks tighter, and you're usually okay with that. So right now is a good time. We're gonna go ahead and shut the valve after we drained it. Now we're gonna come up here to our manual valve. This is our auto, not auto, it's a manual water ball valve, water fill right here. And we're gonna fill the system right back up.
It's bubbling, it's leaking.
It's all right. Just keep tightening it. Just air. So this water is going to fill this boiler right back up, and we're going to watch the level rise in here. And we want to come up to about 3/4 of the pipe. You know, you want 1, 2, 3.
Take this out there.
Okay, yep, we're all set there. Tighten this up more, buddy.
Yeah, this splash me.
We're going to get that tightened down. I was prematurely turning the water on, but it's okay. Okay, so here comes the agua, nice and clean. Coming right up. Like I said before, you want to come like it was 1/3. You want to come to about, I don't know if I want to call it 2/3, but maybe 3/4. You don't want to come all the way to the top and overfill it. You want to drop it right below, maybe an inch or two. And cut your water off sooner than when it gets there, because residual water will still keep coming into the boiler sometimes. Alright, this one leveled off right where I wanted it to, but I can give it a little bit more water. I made a water level line that helps me here. So you don't go to the top, right about this, good. Now we're fine. And everything's nice and juicy. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and flick the boiler back on. It's going to go through a routine here. It's going to go through your fail-safe here, your low water cutout. So it's going to run this manual reset, and it'll be about 3 minutes or so. It takes a while. Then it will click over. It'll be solid green. And you go upstairs, you turn the thermostat up, make sure it's calling for heat. And once that's green, all the controls will click back on from being shut off here. So they're all going to kick back on. They're all going to reconnect. And